To sit back and be like, nobody noticing me. I'm just this smooth guy running off with the money.
Current location 01010 Matrix Boulevard, somewhere in the American Society. Manifesto. Head west on Memory Lane toward North Babylon Trail for 0.3 miles. Turn left onto less traveled road in 700 feet. Turn right onto BLK Privilege Boulevard in 0.1 miles.
I try to tell him to follow the big dip, enticing by the ice on the side of a big ship, and now you get the true definition of big drip. The marathon.
Your destination will be on the right.
You must have thought that we was coming the same.
What is it? Yo, we gotta get out of that.
Shalom, gods and goddesses.
It's like, what is it? Selling your soul is a really serious
thoughts and emotions. Bonding to a voice, an electromagnetic signature that articulates choice. Choice is distinction. Distinction is information. Life as we know it is organized information's incarnation to create more and store more. The alpha magma, codified in Kemet is the Falcon's plasma. Satan is a trick. Blatant as a dick to be complacent in this shit makes you a patient that is sick. The truth is you are a true star. Your caterpillar construction cocoons a new star. The real definition of selling your soul first is trading becoming stellar for a star on earth. Second, you help block creation, illumination, separating information, billions of years in accumulation. Blindly, nigga, we couldn't be more stupid. Sound becomes light. Life is raw music.
What is it? Electromagnetic waves.
The etymology of photography is the right with light. Big Willie, well I am type of hype. Get it? Do you understand what footage is? Skin on tree trunks with visual acoustics is. What it mean to own your image and likeness exclusive is? That's your light, clueless kid in a ruthless biz. The image is your soul, the likeness is your swag, and there's no fucking way I trade that for a bag. Your soul is electromagnetic fields. Your voice is the specific frequency it yields. Encoding your thoughts, encoding your emotion. When those waves collapse, the culture's your commotion, nigga. Keep your guns, your squeeze proper. Culture vultures is cowards and eavesdroppers. The digital age, we clearly got it labels. Sound becoming light as the periodic table.
What is it? Electromagnetic waves. What is it? Electromagnetic waves. What is it? What is it? What is it? What is it?
How we didn't know rap could get that big. Buzz is biology, underwriting zigzag zig. That's why the buzz come after the goosebumps. And my shit creating new mumps. Bass sicker than blue pumps. Swinging like it's loose hung. Ain't no stopping us. Infecting the whole populace. Shining like phosphorus. The fiends say I'm all type of dope. I make a photon of firework like a microscope. Light entendres, light forecast. Let's work. Smell me like a broadcast network. Get it? Peripherans is the middlemen that RCA just mimicking. In the Bible, when they lost their blessing, they start burning. 2018 radio turned urban because we started with nothing and did it the best. Sound becomes light, light becomes flesh.
Electromagnetic waves in your body work the same way as the recording technology. So we take it back. You look at a phonograph. A phonograph is a carbon disc spinning with a carbon needle. That carbon disc, that carbon needle is able to record what? Electromagnetic waves.
Alrighty, guys. Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Wise Magi Godcast. Today we are here with Professor Ras Natty and our honorable guest, Dr. Enqi. He has so many accolades, I don't even know where to really begin, but there you go.
Hey, I'm telling you. And everybody, OG, everybody watching should already kind of get the concept because, like I said, the name of our company is Black Privilege. So, like a lot of the stuff that, man, just like Empress said, my wife was explaining that there's so much accolades. Like we definitely gotta thank you because our first child was a vegan baby based on all the stuff. Yeah, and I'm telling you, Doc, a lot of the stuff that you said in the lecture and a lot of stuff that you explained even from the book, those exact things is what we had to deal with while in the birthing process, because our first child we delivered at the hospital or whatever the situation was. The second one we did a home birth, but the first one, it was very challenging with the doctors coming over you, and it's like 6 of them came in and they was like, hey, if you don't do this, this is gonna happen. And I'm like, man, the doctor was telling me, yeah. Hey, so first quarter they hit us with the preeclampsia. I'm telling you, Doc, I'm telling you, a lot of the stuff that you had, it was just so perfect for our situation. So we definitely want to thank you for that first birth and just make it. I'm telling you, the people out there should already know. We always talking about the doc, and like I said, I even explained it from the doper's perspective of the minister Enqi, right? When you first was on that wave, I explained people like they like this. You feel me, OG? They like this fantasy world. And I'm like, yeah, it's somebody that's talking about it. Like, he's talking about the gods. But now, like, it, because when I came in, you were doing it from the Christian perspective. Like, would you still, so you had those nuances. And I was showing them, like, yo, he's talking about the book right here. Like, this is the actual Bible, but y'all make it too fantastical where we don't get nothing from it. You feel me? And the way you was approaching it, it was like, oh, man, that makes sense. Damn, all right. I see that angle. So we definitely want to thank you for all that, OG. And,
Man, hey, that you don't even know how much that means, because it be, people just never know what it take you to get in front of the camera.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So, I had a whole lot of drama with that series because, like, I have 10 children.
Mm-hmm.
And so when people hear that, they immediately assume that I must have some number close to that of baby mamas. So clearly Enqi must have 6 or 7. Like, no, I have 3. I have 1 baby with 1 lady, you know what I'm saying, my first daughter. Then I have 1 baby. Well, I have my son, my first son with another lady. And then I have 8 with 1 lady. You know what I'm saying? So, but she was like never with anything conscious. Like me and her was like God and the devil together. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
It was an uphill battle. Like she didn't want like anything that like it was just difficult at the time. You know what I'm saying? Even up to the point where what people will never know, you know what I'm saying? And I used to hint around to it just so people that was at the event could kind of remember, you know what I'm saying? Like that was our code, the AK-47 club, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the people that was there, they know what happened, you know what I'm saying? But I'll tell the story just to give an idea of, so people would know, like, you can't think that a guy from the Bronx with gold teeth is just strolling all over the country and that's how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you encounter what you encounter. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to kind of be built for it a little bit.
Yes, sir.
We have a lecture. This guy brings us down to Dallas. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, beautiful. We're going to do the vegan babies lecture, you know what I'm saying, on the book, so we can get this info out. And we get down there, homeboy is like kind of janky, he's kind of, you know what I'm saying? But I'm from the, I can kind of like navigate around it. But I'm telling my man Diallo, I'm like, bro, I'm telling you, we got to watch old boy, man. He's swift. You know what I'm saying? Like watch him. He's swift and sticky. You know what I'm saying? So we were supposed to be doing like a 3-day event. So the first day we do our thing and it's cool. No problem. The second day, the security guy from the first day, because the first day we went, he had security. So I was like, oh, that's kind of all right. That's a vibe.
That's dope. Mm-hmm.
The second day, there's no security. About 45 minutes to an hour into the lecture, security pulls up.
I remember this story. Okay.
He exchanged some words with homeboy about his bread and woo. Homeboy say something. He like, yo, I'll be right back. My man spun the corner and came back in 5 minutes with an AK-47 trying to light the joint up. It was insane. You know what I'm saying? I can't even tell you what the next like 60 seconds look like. You know what I'm saying? But I'll never forget the faces of the brothers that rushed to the gun and told me to get to the back with the women.
Fact, save that one right there. That is a precious stone.
They rushed to the gun to keep him out and told me to get to the back. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a few minutes later, you know what I'm saying, we, you know, it's copacetic. Nobody wound up getting shot. You know what I'm saying? Thank God. But you know what I'm saying? I was like, so we staying or what? You know? It was like, yeah, fuck that. We thought you don't want to go. I was like, nigga, I'm from the Bronx. That's regular. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta be built.
Yeah, we round up rocking out. And like, so it comes full circle, even if just one family sees that video and that family somehow provides, so that's what it was for. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why we, you know what I'm saying? Like
it served its purpose.
Man, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people don't see like the purpose of me having certain types of exchanges. And I'm like, nah, the goofballs that you may not think that I should be arguing with, what you don't realize is no matter how dumb, how ignorant this guy looks, he has followers.
Yes.
And his followers need this information, but his followers trust him more than they trust me. So this guy is standing in between me and healing those people over there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I got to balance myself into, you know, making sure I don't get too distracted because I can, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's perseverance, you know what I'm saying? Like it's about that.
Facts. You do a great job of just like, you entertain the ignorant in such a way that's just so profound. I'm like, how does Enqi tolerate it? Like, I love it. I love it personally. Every time I witness you, I'm like, man, he's doing the Lord's work, because you are literally arguing with people that just they'll die, unfortunately, not getting it. Like when I hear them insulting like the herbs and all that stuff, I'm like, bro, what are y'all talking about? Like literally, this is what people in third world countries survive off of. Like, Enqi, have you heard about the whole Cersei situation with Haiti in the
during the
situation,
the shot when you were telling everybody about taking the shot? Yes. Over in Haiti, they was using the herb, and the president came out before the situation where he was unfortunately assassinated.
They had some bitter herbs down there they was rocking.
Yes, sir.
Like these people are just so dependent. It's scary. It's so scary. And Enqi, like, what was I, like probably 22 at that point? Like I was skeptical of my husband. I was like, wait, what is going on here? But he was so dedicated to watching your videos, screenshots. Our phones are filled with screenshots. And yes, this is my first time having a child. They scared me with preeclampsia. They baited me into the hospital. Everything is first time for me. They're trying to give me steroids because they're saying the baby's going to be a preemie, all this stuff. My husband came in there because I decided to go to get the blood pressure and all that stuff checked on my own. Yeah. When my husband came in there, I was in tears. They couldn't get because they gave me an IV with magnesium.
Okay.
So the guy couldn't get it right as far as getting it into my veins. So he kept pricking me. And by the time he came in there, I was in tears. And by the time we left, I was just so confident in my husband. Like, even when she was coming, he kind of got upset because I started to give into the propaganda of the what is that? Epidural.
You didn't know no better.
The lady was like, "You're experiencing this pain, not him. This, not the third."
I was just about to say, you gotta speak up and be like,
yes.
you're at risk, so you've got to make this decision, Would you like us to ask them to come out the room? Like, they do shit like that.
Man, they made it so awkward the whole time. They made it seem like I was up there trying to steal the child. Like, hey, it's like.
But within that same breath, they were like, "Call the dad! Call the dad! Where's the dad at? The baby's coming right now!" And all of that knowledge and information that we had studied was just worthwhile, because that epidural was my moment of a C-section. Because yes, they came in with the 6 doctors and was like, "Oh, you have a laceration. It may cause blindness, blah, blah, blah," all this rundown. And they were like, "What are you afraid to ruin your beach body?" Because I was a college athlete, super slim. And they're like, "What are you afraid of?" And I'm like, Dr. Enqi just said, don't get baited into all this stuff. Like, this whole madness. So I'm not afraid of anything. What are y'all afraid? Like, what are y'all afraid of? That I'm not going to get the C-section because I'm not getting it. Like, they kept trying to push that. You're going to
sue the hospital if something go wrong. Because so the fear that they putting you under, sometimes it's not even their fault. It's coming from upstairs, because they under the fear. Anytime they make a mistake, they just get replaced. You know what I'm saying? Like, the hospital keep getting their bread.
Enqi, did you hear about the nurse that recently just got spared, I guess, because she gave the wrong aesthetic or whatever, and it too much. It was some type of pain thing.
I got the clip. I'll bring it up. We can talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, Enqi, again, I just want to thank you and show you gratitude, because you literally and then the next baby, it was so easy. There was no questioning my husband whatsoever. And that story is even crazier.
Yeah, at that point, you ain't even, there ain't no Dr. Enqi involved there. It's our shit. We already did this already. You know what I'm saying? We know exactly what they said that last time. Okay, we're gonna do it like this.
Yeah. But the misconception that I still had was thinking, okay, maybe it was a hospital that traumatized me and a birthing center will be better. But ultimately, these people are here to make money. And with our other situation, it was a home birth, but it wasn't on purpose. We were supposed to go to the birthing center. We ended up having the baby at the house because we couldn't figure out how to get a hold of the midwife. But in the midst of all that, we started getting random bills. And it's like, you didn't even deliver the baby. My husband caught this baby. She came and delivered the placenta after the fact. So, baby came out without the midwife there, but we were being charged as if she was there. And it was very confusing. But I realized it's like, okay, you just have to know how to navigate, whether you go to hospital or birthing center.
Yeah, and it's good to have a doula on hand to keep your midwife in check. You know what I'm saying? That's
my husband is my doula. He was so good, Enqi. I hands down. But I agree with you on the doulas, because I did talk to a lot of doulas as far as when I was with my first child, because that was a birthing center plan too, but they tricked me into going into the hospital.
Actually, around that same time is when I was planning on taking the actual doula course, because I remember I wanted to go through the actual full course, because you always recommend things like that, like going to the hospital, like actually using their tools. Don't try to be better than you. Feel me? The tools are there. Right, just use the tools, and once you know what you don't, because a lot of people think they have to accept stuff. Like I was telling my wife, is they come in with that fear of you may die, this may happen, and I'm like, when
they kept tricking us with the seizure situation.
Oh my gosh, when I was in there, it was throwing me off. I was like, man, you really saying this to somebody while they pregnant, like that they may die? Like, this is your concept? Like, this is just simple situation right here, and you went to school. And for some reason, I'm more confident than you, and you went to all these schools and all these years. Like, it confused me a little bit. But like I said, once listening to
they getting that instilled in them, they get that put in their brain. So they don't even know no better. And then a lot of times, like what helped me, and I started really making it like a ritual after maybe my second child. Is just everybody I come in contact with in the hospital before they even do anything. Hey, quick question. How many children you have?
Ooh.
Just so we can all be on the same page. Because I'm like, I got 3 babies and you ain't got no babies. So how are you telling me? You telling me something out of a book?
Yeah, because
I'm telling you what I know for real, like real time. Like
at the end of the day, most of those people are like your checks and boxes. They have to check boxes. Did you do this? Did you do that? So once those boxes are checked, like you're just another number to them. It's not a personal situation. Whereas if you do have children, it's that, hold on, what if this happens to me? Like, what if I'm next on the line? So yeah, for sure, you definitely have to get that empathy question out of the way. Do you have children?
Look, just to jump to the study, melanin versus diabetes, you explained that the heart is almost like the last level, right, where everything is encoded from the pineal gland, you said, and then the heart is what basically relays the message, like the actual message. That's you feel me, from the light and everything. That so like just that concept is exactly what you're talking about with the actual heart, with actually who you are. Dr. Enqi was saying, as far as being built, being from these areas, being raised here, and not actually setting yourself up for this path, but being chosen or being, you know, selected, or like, you know, where the people kind of start identifying you as maybe you are the person, like the whole time you've been on this path, and they notice you and they like, maybe you supposed to be over here, and you say, man, nah, I ain't supposed to be over there. So when you come into this world, you start understanding a lot of the fake stuff. Like I said, a lot of the stuff the brother talk about, it was easy for me to get on it, because it came from, because most of these people that's literally in this health situation, doctor, it's like the void of spirituality, right?
That blows my mind, because I'm like, so you don't believe in any type of higher power, God, ancestors? You just healing, okay? Because I don't know how that's fully possible without that. But hey, I always leave space that maybe I'm in the wrong. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, as time goes by, you start to become in a smaller and smaller group where everybody is like, oh, no, I'm atheist. No, I'm agnostic. I'm like, wait, okay, agnostic. Okay, agnostic and atheist. And atheist is not agnostic, but neither one of you make us believe. Okay, got it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you do know, you know what I'm saying? And this is where they beat me up. I'd be like, but you do know that that's not like an indigenous thing. Like that's a brand new thing. Like no matter where you go on this planet, white, yellow, red, black, brown, purple, everybody. It's unanimous. Everybody believed in a higher power, creative force, a god, a goddess, gods and goddesses. Like that was unanimous on Earth. White, black, brown, red, purple, whatever. So I'm like, this new thing that y'all got going on, just recognize that this is not, you know, just don't call this something else. Like, don't try to say this is Kemetic or Christian or I hate this is not Caribbean. This may come from Antarctica. Maybe this is from that place. You know what I'm saying? But every other place on Earth, it was, you know, we had some sort of creative scheme to things. Like,
yes, sir.
Dr. Enqi, quick question, because I was watching the movie Soul from Disney, and
go ahead.
One of the situations was like, I guess had like these 7 circles that they needed to get filled, the patch, in order to go to Earth.
Yep.
And the final one for 22 was a spark. She needed a spark or whatever to, I guess, get her patch, her full patch. As far as like Goosebumps, like, what's the science behind Goosebumps? And is that somewhat of a spark? Because when people listen to music, they always say, oh my gosh, I got this goosebumps, or when someone's singing.
Here's
like,
the thing. I thought, now I can't pinpoint to you exactly what it is, but what I could tell you, that's the most interesting thing that I found out about it. I just haven't circled back to it. But because I thought everybody, that was a process, like I thought everybody experienced that. You know, I thought that maybe our tastes are different. Like there might be a song that get me a certain way that doesn't get you, but then there's something, you know, like, so I thought everybody has that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody can experience that.
Right.
Oh, and that's not even the majority. So there are less people that are physically capable of that than there are. So a lot of people, like if you're getting chills or goosebumps from a song, you know, people understand the concept because it's a part of our society. We teach it. We understand what that means. Like you really, but not everybody can experience that. And then amongst the people that can experience it, some of us are more sensitive than others. So it's another sense that we just haven't like codified. Like, you know, there are systems in Kemet where they say that we have up to like 360 different senses. You know what I'm saying? Like how here we have 5 senses. There are other schools of thought, you know, in various places where we have more senses than 5.
Wait, but Dr. Enqi, weren't you saying that our 6th sense is thought? Was that not you? Okay, so that was okay.
But that's not thought. That's something different.
That's something.
That would technically be like number 7. You know what I'm saying? And you know,
as far as
who knows what order, but just, you know, like that would be another one.
Yes, sir.
Have the ability to dream. You know, that would be another one. Everybody doesn't have the ability to dream. I thought that everybody, to some extent, was like physically capable of dreaming.
Does that have something to do with like your hair? Because Enqi was saying that too, right? About your hair scanning the room.
It may be something with your hair. It may be something with your neuromelanin. It may be something with your brainwave activity. Some people may not be able to sustain the high level of brainwave activity in their sleep. Like, because when you go to sleep, in order to get to that dream level where you have lucid dreams, your brain has to actually be fully awake. So when you're dreaming, your brain is fully awake. There's no difference in your brain, like right now, like we awake, or you know, we call awake. And when you sleep, having a lucid dream, your brain has the same activity. When you are not dreaming is when your brain is like sleep. You know what I'm saying? So it's a whole like another universe.
Man. Huh. Okay. And quick question, do you know why they call it Goosebumps? What's that about?
No, there's a scientific word for it, but I don't know why they call it the Goosebumps. But then there's another thing where everybody can't imagine.
Really? Man, we're
this is why I'm like, this is why always all my life, like I've been able to read science books and textbooks, and people be like, bro, how can you read that? I'm like, how can you not? This shit is insane.
Man.
Like this I'm like, so wait. Like, so right now, if I say, and I'll be doing this all the time, like, let's all imagine a nice red, crispy, fresh, organic, fresh out the refrigerator. We don't even want it off the tree. We want it out the refrigerator where it got that little bit of chill on it. So you could just bite it and the juice come out. Like, just imagine that apple right now in your mind. Most can see the apple.
Right.
No, everybody can't see the apple though. That's crazy.
That's unbelievable. I don't believe that.
Wow. So those are things that I took for granted that everybody could do, and they can't. And then the people that can do that, again, it's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? So there's clearly other functionality in the body that we haven't, it's still not on the books yet. There's a lot to explore inside the human body. I tell people that all the time, like, the cochlea is the perfect example. It's the best example I could give, honestly, because it's microscopic. You can't see the cochlea with your naked eye.
Okay.
So the way they found it was by mistake. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, it would be super arrogant to assume that there's nothing else in there that's that same similar size somewhere else that we haven't stumbled upon. Like, if we got organs that's microscopic, like, how do we know how many of those there are? Like, there's no way to, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
like even the brain, right? Because I remember you saying like it's literally just light just firing off, but like once it's a, you know, a corpse or whatever, it's this pink matter or whatever the case is. Is that similar to, like, I don't know if you've ever seen this video, but they have like fish that they'll have at the deepest part of the ocean, and once you bring it closer to the surface, it like loses its shape almost.
I think, well, the fish is like fish are made for a certain type of pressure.
Okay.
Their bodies are made for a certain type of pressure. So if they go deeper or if they come up too high, it's gonna, they're gonna have it's going to disrupt. Yeah, it's going to totally turn them inside out. But with your brain is all different pigments. So, when you transition, the pigments gone, and then that's it. Once the pigments go, but we don't even have to wait to die for our brain to start losing pigment. All we got to do is have too much sugar in our body. It's over.
Oh, talk about it.
So I was listening to the doctor, and the doctor said, Dr. Enqi was explaining how sugar shrinks your brain. Right. And when I heard that concept, there was something else you said, and I was trying to see if I was in Enqi vision or out of Enqi vision, but you were saying something about how sugar shuts down white blood cells. And but I remember you explaining almost that white blood cells really don't do their jobs. Not really well. Go in.
Well, no. It's that we've been told the wrong thing about them.
Okay.
So the idea we've been sold is that white blood cells are the immune system.
Okay.
And they're not. White blood cells are mostly sanitary cells. You know what I'm saying? And you have maybe, like, with the exception of maybe T cells. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
T cells are maybe the only guys running around busting their gun. Everybody else is cleanup time. That's all they do. After everything has already happened, they come and clean up. Like police, you know what I'm saying? I just told my children, I was like, you do know that police don't actually protect people. Police just come after something has happened to people to try to figure out who did it, but don't actually like protect you or stop something from happening. If somebody's gonna rob, kill, shoot, punch, stab, slap, whatever, that's kind of like a you thing. You got to handle that on the spot.
That's
wait, okay, so Enqi, have you seen the movie Soul?
Oh no. I've seen the movie Soul. I got the books.
Okay.
The movie Soul. I made all my babies do book reports on it. Like, Soul was a thing in this house when it came out.
Hey, when you guys are in Florida, maybe you guys should stop by. I would love to meet them. I always see pictures and I'm like, man.
Definitely.
Okay, but as far as Soul, like the accountant, do you remember the accountant and how he felt like he was preventing something, but the whole time it was already happening, and then he came in after the fact?
Yep.
Yeah, so okay, it's the same. Conceptually, that's the same thing you're saying with the white blood cell.
Remember, we went through a whole study the other day because we were trying to really figure out. Because I was telling you that Enqi put that thought out, and I was, man, that's crazy. Because what he's saying is exactly right. Because if it is our defense system, why do we get sick in the sense of? But then
is it because we have too many?
Well, go in.
No, it's just their job is to come after. You know what I'm saying? Like.
No, okay.
Your melanocytes, your pigment system is the actual immune system. You know what I'm saying? Even if you think of, even if you look at white blood cells, your white blood cell, or the main white blood cells anyway, that people like the pandemic. So during the pandemic, nobody was talking about T cells. T cells became stepchildren. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was talking about antibodies. You got to have the antibodies. So that's a B cell conversation.
Okay.
B cells come from your marrow.
Okay.
Your bone marrow is all pigment.
Interesting.
Facts.
Because you explained to us about the bone marrow, right? Where you said the kidneys, the digestive system, and the bone marrow together make the red blood cells.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
man.
Wait, hold on.
I like this.
Oh, I'm like Ink. Like everybody is in the chat and they kind of understand like where this is coming from. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that you speak about, like I'm always anal about it. I'm like, bro, do y'all not
He's
hear?
not lying.
Like, do y'all not hear what he's saying?
Okay,
And
but quick question.
maybe could we island? Go in.
Okay, because as far as like, so like with milk and all these other things that are rich in like the mucus, I guess, and I would say white blood cells, or like what actually increases your white blood cell count, and what happens when you have too many white blood cells? Like what actually is happening to the body when that's occurring?
Well, when you got too many white blood cells, so let's just do it like this. Here's a better way to do it. And this will probably answer like a bunch of the questions at once, or it'll just change the questions into different.
Okay, go ahead.
So the pigment cells throughout the body, pigment cells are your immune system.
Okay.
Right. So you start right there. And one of the things that I recently discovered, you know what I'm saying? Like this was painstaking time, you know, trying to sort out this white blood cell melanocyte, like Bloods and Crips, or, you know, like cops and robbers, cowboys.
The analogy.
So I'm trying to figure out the relationship. And I find out, lo and behold, there's a language that all your body cells speak.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And a part of that language is the interleukins.
Okay.
And the interleukins are a specific category of cytokines. And basically, melanocytes control the behavior of white blood cells via interleukins. If your pigment system is not where it needs to be, then they kind of are, it's like there's no parent, you know what I'm saying? So they
obsolete.
But they have the language of the interleukins, and then they also have there's a tricky type of cell that every 20, 30 years or so, the view of this cell shifts. So early on, I want to say maybe like the 30s, 40s, something like that. The Langerhans cell was viewed as a sister or a brother of melanocytes that you know, was like an intermediary between melanocytes and your T cells. Now they're saying that the Langerhans cell is more of a new, different type of white blood cell, but still in all, it relays it. It's like a messenger between your melanocytes and the T cells. So like there's literally constant communication going on between the pigment.
Wait, okay, so Dr. Enqi, so is I guess the one that they're considering the new white blood cell, what is it now? How do you pronounce it?
Not necessarily new, but they were trying to classify it as a type of melanin, a melanated cell. And so there's old documents that will show you that the Langerhans cell is a type of melanated cell, whatever. But then, you know, they've debunked that, and they're saying that it's actually a type of white blood cell, whatever the case may be. But the one thing that's not disputed is what it does. And
that's like, that was my questions. Yeah, so as far as the white blood cell am I saying this right? The white blood cell, it stores the stuff within the RNA?
Well, there's different types of white blood cells. So you got T cells, B cells, you know, you got a bunch of different ones, leukocytes, and, you know, it's a bunch of different macrophages. And
they all have different functionalities, or are they all working?
Yeah, they all doing different stuff. They all got different stuff to do. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where stuff could go haywire. And typically what we thought was that, or what was popularly taught is that you just have the HLA system kind of like in charge of that. But no, it's way more complex than that. And if you pay attention to it and you think about it for a second, it's something that people should have been thought of, because it doesn't make sense any other way. Like, why would your brain and your nervous system not be in control of your immune system? Like, that just doesn't make any sense. Like that Like that's the control center. Like why would that not be like? Why would your immune system be out of control of your brain and your central nervous system? Like that doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So it just kind of fits that there's a mechanism for your brain and your nervous system, even if it's a part, of your nervous system that you don't control, like breathing. You know what I'm saying? It still has to have some sort of control mechanism. To think that it's just like some old Maverick Top Gun type of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
That makes sense.
Because most people don't even understand conceptually about like controlling your breathing from your belly. They're just mouth breathers, and they don't realize that they can actually force their body to certain levels and control certain things that most people think run on autonomy or whatever the case is.
Yeah, it's
interesting.
It's a catch-all, but it's not something that you don't have control of.
Right.
It's your body's gonna run it whether you run it or not, so that you don't get dead. But should you want to happen to jump in, take the wheel, you can take the wheel whenever you want.
And that's the whole aspect of just being mentally strong. Is telling your brain like, okay, we are sick, but we've been eating this, and the third, so I should be able to recalibrate because I've been supplementing here and eating a better diet or whatever the case is. Okay.
Yeah, somebody said in the chat, Qigong is the basics. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where you want to start, with Qigong or with a Tai Chi. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like if you're not gonna do martial arts, Qigong is probably, Qigong is probably better. Can
you run that by our audience? What's that practice?
Hey, and make sure, and Doc, I've been seeing it's been very hard to find your videos. I see they're trying to take the kings. What's going on?
I'm off YouTube. I'm on Patreon now. So
okay, all right. And how would we find that? Cause we need to put the link in the description. Okay. Because definitely.
Get the chat right here for you, and then you could just read.
Okay.
All right.
Private chat. And then you could just copy it and put it in the regular chat or on the description, wherever.
Yes, sir. Yeah. That's definitely, because I've been looking for that. I've been looking.
Yeah, they got me. They took down like 4 pages at once. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, so Dr. Enqi, do you have like a hard drive of all those videos? Because those are quality videos, like volumes.
First of all, the doctor has books. Doctor has the doctor has books.
All them videos from all them channels. I got them all.
Okay.
Yeah, because you
get to the Patreon.
I'm probably out of the 15 years. I'm missing like a month or so, which is what I think they was trying to do. So a lot of my newest diabetes videos, like the diabetes shit, was the straw that broke the camel's back.
What?
Melanin disease.
Yeah, they was like, okay, we're done with this nigga. He's out of here.
Oh my god!
All this melanin disease talk, you got to get him out of here. I think he's on to something. He's talking about mental illness and look, Doc, because a lot of the people around our age is from the age of, I think, 1 to 44, where that'll be the people that mostly die from unintentional injuries and homicide. But I remember you explaining that a lot of these effects are delayed. So some of them can be delayed to where you're in your 60s and you got dementia or whatever, but some of them could just be where your mental is off, and a lot of these things is being caused, premature death and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And diabetes is so slick. Like there's literally, I want to say probably like 40 or 50 things. I had them written down somewhere, all of them, but like 40 or 50 different things that we deal with on a regular basis that most people may not know is related to excess blood sugar. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Heart disease, cancer, you know what I'm saying? Everybody doesn't know the #1 causes, diabetes, Alzheimer's, dementia, diabetes. But then most people don't know fibroids, PCOS, herpes, you know what I'm saying? Diverticulitis, different depression, different mental health issues. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll examine a person and they'll say, okay, well, no, this is about neurochemistry, et cetera. But what they don't realize is that the neurochemistry is based on your biochem, what's happening in the chemistry of the body.
Yes, sir.
Because everything, like the brain doesn't, food doesn't go there directly. You know what I'm saying? Light doesn't even go there directly. You gathering it from the eyes and the skin, and it has to be routed to the hypothalamus and those other sensors. You know what I'm saying? So everything kind of has to be brung to the center of the brain for your neurochemistry to happen. So if stuff doesn't happen right there, then it's not, it's going to wound up having some crazy effect in the brain. You know what I'm saying? If you have bad eyes, it's like it's not possible to have bad eyes and perfect neurochemistry. Like that's not possible because a large portion of your neurochemistry relies on your eyes. You know what I'm saying? It's not possible to have bad skin, and have perfect neurochemistry because a large part of your.
So hold on, Dr. Enqi, because I work with children a lot, and I'm trying to figure out, are you saying when they come with the glasses like as 3-4 years old, they're already having neural issues?
Most of them, yeah.
Because
like
you got to think about it.
Some of them, they just might have some deficiencies, or it could be maybe something that something they passed down from their parent or something like that. But a lot of times, you're gonna notice certain little physical things go along with them children that can't, like they just can't get it together. Like they just can't get it together. You know what I'm saying? Or they're very well behaved, but when you look at their schoolwork, it's almost like dyslexic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
You're like, wait, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Or they'll write the.
So are you saying it's genetic or just like deficient?
No,
they can fix it.
A large part of it is dietary. A large part of it is not just, and when I say dietary, I mean consumption based. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just, dietary is not just the food. It's also what you drink, how much you drink, what you listen to, what you see.
It's all
the sounds that you exposed to, the light you exposed to. Yeah, everything that your body's consuming is going to have an effect. You don't see or hear with your eyes or ears anyway. Like all your senses have to be routed to the brain to make sense.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Because I was just watching Atlanta. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that TV show, but one of the episodes.
I don't think I'm up to date, but I definitely watch it.
Okay, so on the 3rd season, which is the latest one, they have an episode called Trinity to the Bone. And in this story, it's a Trinidad nanny that's taking care of a little white kid. And it first starts off as the child getting an English bagel from his mom. And he's like, Mom, it's bland. And the dad is like, oh, what do you want on it? And then he's like, spicy curry mango. And his parents both look at each other like, what is that? So long story short, the nanny just passed away. So she's not there to do all this. So they're figuring out all of these Trinidad, elements that he's picked up. So one of them is a spicy curry mango. And then they go to the funeral or whatever. I'm not going to spoil it too much. But they go to the funeral and they start singing some of the songs or whatever for her. And he's singing along with them. So I definitely agree with you on that as far as conceptually.
The environment. The environment changed the white kid.
Yeah, Donald Glover did a good job of just putting that point out there of like, whatever you're exposed to, that's who you are. So like when people are like, you're black, if you've never been exposed to the black culture, like.
And you got to think about it even from the beginning. Go in, Doc.
That's a whole big thing that I've been like really pushing the buck on that lately, because when I put the article out, right?
Yes, sir.
I was super excited. You know what I'm saying? Because most people don't know behind the scenes with holistic healers and shit. Most people think that every holistic healer is like fucking Jesus and Just be natural. We got 100% success rate with every single person, and this, that, and the other. So I know the real deal. So I'm like, once I figured out how to really map out the full scale of diabetes, I'm like, holy shit, this is really different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, hold on, I gotta share this shit with the world. Like, this has to go. You know what I'm saying? And as I jump out there and I start teaching, I start to find out. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm trying to explain the whole deepness of the, you know, and I'm looking at people's faces and I'm like, and I'm listening to questions. I'm like, hold on. You niggas don't know what melanin is.
They ain't getting it. Hey, let's shout out the American Healer though, because in that docu, right, you start out you asking them and you see them how they like, and you say, okay, well, I said, I already, you've been, so go in, Doc, my bad.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, people don't even know what that is. So I'm like, wait a minute, I got to start way back here to figure out, like, I gotta go up and like, we gotta level up first. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, because one of the things that we do is we separate our physical health versus our, and I don't even want to say mental health, but I'll say our social health, because it's different. You know what I'm saying? How we socialize with one another. You know what I'm saying? So we separate that. We don't think that mental health has anything to do with the diet. We don't think that how we socialize and behave has anything to do with diet. That right there is the biggest problem. Before we even get to the science of understanding food, we don't understand the relationship of food to the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? So at the same time, all these other things start to happen, like for whatever reason, the drill culture, you know what I'm saying, is going up to another notch, and everybody.
Enqi, they done got to the compa.
Listen,
did you see it? There's a drill song with compa music like sampled behind it.
Listen, they got gospel right now with the
but in Jamaica, they #1 for murder, and you see how they doing it down there with the nonsense. So go in, OJ.
Listen, the videos that you see, like WhatsApp, oh my God, the videos that you see coming out of Jamaica, they out there cutting heads, like it's different. Just put it like that.
Stay away from WhatsApp videos.
But the whole idea with the song is, the songs, in order to actually be an artist, you have to kill at least one person and make a song about it. Like, that's what that's about. So you can't really do drill music without killing. You know what I'm saying? Or promoting killing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. And
that's the time we're in.
Well, I'm like, but here's no. See, I disagree. See, I just think that this is pure insanity. But man, why do people call me when I'm on live?
Juries are coming in.
Yeah, this thing be jumping. People be mad at me. They be like, Enqi, you didn't see my message. I'm like, nigga, how is the message?
Oh no.
You know
when we sent you, we were just like, man, I hope divine intervention works.
Look,
that's all we were.
Let me show you what my messages look like. And I just cleaned my text messages like yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Where I had 0 text messages. I went through them all. And you can see my my text message number and my emails. Look at how much emails is in there.
See, wow. You look like me. That's how I would have my situation. My wife be tripping.
You don't have no space, Enqi.
That's 205,000 emails. And look how many text messages there. 225 text messages. Wow. And that's email and text. So the mountain of DM, like, I'll be like, they'd be like, Enqi, but I messaged you. I'm like, I'm sorry, I missed yours. I just, yeah.
Get in line.
Forget about these 5 kids I got. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I missed your message. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
legend. Enqi, you're a legend.
Hey, let's just hope this time, right, while Noah's building the ark, because you're saying that there's so much people in line. You feel me? Let's hope that Motherfuckers figuring out that boat about right there, though.
The craziest thing, and this is what I said, at least the people in the Bible had a good excuse to doubt Noah.
They had no, you feel me? They had no prior knowledge of the situation.
Yeah,
it was nothing leading up to it.
And Noah was a wild one. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, okay, this nigga probably drunk. He off that shit again. You know, Noah. You know what I'm saying?
What is it?
But nowadays, he's neck deep in the water. The flood is already happening, and folks are still like, yeah, I'm about to go cop these I'm about to go, you know, I'm like, all right.
So how, Dr. Enqi, how can you disagree?
Let me tell you the biggest problem. Let me tell you the biggest problem that I have to deal with now.
Okay.
The biggest problem that I deal with now is the and it's and I blame myself partially for it. I blame myself partially for it. You know what I'm saying? But it's that people think they can hustle herbs. So because of how I look and how I talk, in our subconscious, Enqi's a hustler. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a hustler too. So shit, I could get me some of them herbs and shit. Fuck Enqi. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can sell that shit too. You know what I'm saying?
But they're not doing none of the work, no research whatsoever.
They're not doing none of the study. I've been studying the human body since I was 6 years old. I'm 44.
Talk about it.
38 years of studying the body. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, Enq, they haven't been in the studio long enough, like you said.
Yeah, they ain't been in the studio. All you gotta do is go, and they like, here's the shortcut. Oh, well, I could just Google it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why we got so many men that have the fake penises right now.
Man, don't jump to the impotence. I was about to jump there with the diabetes and circle it.
Look, they buying too. So you got the guys. They just go, or they go, okay. You know, I'm smart. I'm smart. Shit, you can't bullshit me. You know, I'm smart. I could critically think. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why the brothers are having impotence issues is because they're not getting a good circulation to their private parts. Okay, good. So boom, let me just Google herbs for circulation. Bam,
oh, man.
So now they find about 10 different herbs that's good for circulation, long jack and a whole bunch of other shit. Then they buy it, mix it up, put it in capsules, sell it to their man. Their man take it. Bam, he's hard on. They like, yo, this shit work. Next thing you know, they selling that to everybody. Everybody is quote unquote having good results because they're getting immediate hard-ons. But because they haven't put no time in study, they ain't been in the studio. They don't understand that although you're getting hard-ons right now, you're destroying the tissue inside your penis and possibly your testicles later on because you're not supposed to have circulation right now. There's a reason why your body stopped you from having that blood fill up your penis. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Because it's dirty. And, you know, it's filled with, too much sugar and maybe some other acids and other things in there. And what happens is once all that, you know, because you done busted open the capillaries and flooded the penis so you can do your thing. Once them sugars and all that other stuff get in there, well, it's too big to come out. So now it starts to destroy the tissues slowly but surely. And there becomes a point where the herbs or the Cialis or the Viagra is not going to work anymore. And you just got a bunch of dead tissue. And at that point, let's go on ahead and get you ready to get this penis implant. And, you know, you'll be good as new. You know what I'm saying? So brothers is judging the ladies for having fake boobs and fake booties, but they walking around with fake pipes. You know what I'm saying? And then the sister's just as bad now. The sister's even worse, right?
And
now.
like, are you saying
the sister's even worse right now?
Go ahead.
The same way you got the brothers, because see, sex always sells. That's the one thing about sex. Mm-hmm. You can always turn sex into a few dollars. You know what I'm saying? Even if it don't even make sense, it'll still work. Like you could take a beer. Think about it. You take a beer and you take a girl in the bikini and put the two together. Bam! You selling the beer. Wait a minute. What the fuck's going on right now? And on the beach, Like nobody drinks beer on the beach, nigga. You get a headache. That's not even the place to have beer on the beach. It's 100 degrees. You don't want beer on the beach. But it sells though. You know what I'm saying? So you have women out there now, equally not knowing what the fuck they doing. They're selling these vagina detoxes. You know what I'm saying? Where you putting herbs into your vagina.
Man. Nah, you know that because I've been speaking about this and I've been upset by the OG. Like, and I understand about the herbs.
If they know what they're doing,
with the herbs,
you can make some high quality herbal suppositories.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? But the thing is this.
Wait, really quick. Are you saying like the yoni steam or like insert?
No. I'm not
saying not the steam itself.
The steam is super legitimate and it's super safe. You know what I'm saying? I mean, anything you can make mistakes with anything, but the steaming is really, really, like that's a really high quality for the most part. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard to fuck up.
Okay.
But no, with an herbal suppository, these herbs going up in there, you know what I'm saying? And if you know what you're doing, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? And really, but you almost gotta only do that. You know what I'm saying? So over the years, sisters have asked me for something like that, and I'm like, nah, it's just too much work. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make it's too much work for me to do, because in order to really do that correctly, you damn near have to have, not even damn near, you would have to have each woman go get a full workup. You know, YN and blood. You know what I'm saying? She got to get a full workup and then bring that back to you. Pap Schmidt, like the whole full pro, and then bring that all the results, and then you would have to put her herbal suppository together based on that. Like a woman's vagina is like a fingerprint. It's unique. Every woman, her microbiome,
the pH
like level, combination, her pH, her fluid, like all. I mean, the elements may be the same, but how they are combined is highly, highly specific.
And then if their lifestyle is different, it even makes it more complex.
Right, but that's not even adding in lifestyle, candida, or whatever issues might be going on. BB, like, all that's gonna make it even more. You know what I'm saying? And then hormone cascade, estrogen, what type of estrogen, how much, like progesterone, luteinizing, like all kinds of. So you can't just have an herbal suppository on your website that you sell to women. Like, there's no way for that to be okay, to put the same herbs up your vagina as your sister's vagina, as your mother's vagina, as your grandma's vagina, as your daughter's vagina. I'm like,
especially if, like, because like the whole circumcision versus uncircumcised, if they're uncircumcised, that guy may be pulling out more fluids that she's gonna have to replace. So that's very complex
they
solution.
They even explained that I think America is like 80% of the lube usage. A lot of other people, they're not fully circumcised, so the whole, because it's covered with some type of lubricant type of situation. So like a lot of the stuff that we do in this society is already unnatural, because remember the brother and Dr. Enqi, I remember you was explaining this, how you saying that we're gonna have to change everything. Like, we can't just change a couple of ways of doing things. We got to change the houses,
everything right. Everything gotta go. So that's where all the money opportunities come in. You know what I'm saying? Like this,
he was talking about this.
Yeah, we're transitioning to this like unlimited potential for new millionaires and billionaires and all kind of stuff, because everything needs. And in this small YouTube space, we stepping on top of each other because we all trying to, be on the same frequency. And I just I never really understood it. I'm like, you don't need to teach vegan shit to a group of vegan niggas. Like, that is the dumbest thing on earth. Like, why are you teaching herbs to herbalists? Nigga, turn off the YouTube. It's a million niggas out here that's at McDonald's right now. They have no idea who Dr. Sabi is, Dr. Enqi, Dr. Africa. They don't know none of these niggas. Like, that's our target. The niggas that you like, I ain't arguing with these ignorant niggas. That's who you got. If you want to be a healer, go get them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where you got to go. You got to get those ones.
Yeah, because they're literally like blank canvases.
See, and Empress, you got to think about this because I remember one day me and you had a back and forth, and you was like, man, Ink shouldn't waste no time on them. And I was like, babe, you got to think about it. Because even with me, right, as far as we trade, we do different things. I'm always like, man, he don't know what he's talking about. And he has a lot of followers. So imagine how much people don't know what they're doing. So I seen where you was like, man, Ink should just back off and just do his thing. And I'm like, nah, because it comes to a point. Go in, OG.
Let me tell you, I got a story, and it's gonna be in the documentary. You know what I'm saying? But
that's the American Healer documentary, Empress. Can you put the link so that go in, OG?
Yeah, I'll put the trailer on so people can see it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then shout out my sponsors, you know what I'm saying? But it's a celebrity, you know what I'm saying? It'd be in the doc, but he got sick, you know what I'm saying? And he got diabetes. And one of my friends, he's a brother of mine. He's in the music business, you know what I'm saying? Well, not so much now. He kind of retired, you know what I'm saying? But you never really retire from the music business. But he's been around for a long time. You know what I'm saying? He worked with Timbaland and Jodeci and 50 and like just, you know, he's out there. You know what I'm saying? So when homeboy gets sick, he like, yo, you good? I'm gonna get, don't worry about it. I'm gonna break my man down. He gonna get you together. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I go meet him. You know what I'm saying? This is when Tony was, you know, before Tony decided to go chase her music. You know, that was my protege. So we fly down and go meet him. And
wait, you're a grandpa now, right?
Hey, Ink, my Empress was asking that the other day. I think we were, one of these days you was live. She was asking about Tony. Is Tony still doing music? Because I remember we used to always be, man, Tony got like this unique sound.
Yes.
So we always be like, man, what's Tony doing? So definitely the fact that you said that.
Tony's in the like the weird space, you know what I'm saying? Where, you know, and I just gotta respect it, you know what I'm saying? Because I went through it too, you know what I'm saying? But you just want to be on your own and handle it. And it's like, you can't really knock a child that want to do that on their own, because the other opposite frequency is you can't get the nigga off the couch. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she's super ambitious. So she's, you know, I would like to be able to say, hey, babe, you know, you don't have to conquer the whole world at one time. But I kind of raised her like, you can conquer this whole motherfucker at one time. You know what I'm saying? But so we meet up with him and all that, and there's another guy. He's got like a handler.
Okay.
And the handler, you know what I'm saying, jumps in the middle, and he's like, hold on. You know, I got a PhD, you know, Enqi. And at the time, I wasn't even a doctor. I was just minister. I hadn't went to school yet.
Okay.
So, I mean, I had a bunch of certifications and other shit, but I hadn't went and got my naturopathic doctors. You know, I wasn't that yet.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, Enqi ain't got no degrees of, you know, that nigga got the herbs. Shit, I got my own herbs. You know what I'm saying? I got moringa. Moringa could cure all that shit too. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. The celebrity goes with him and doesn't listen to me. Now, mind you, I sent him like what I sent him. They would, you know what I'm saying? It's just, homeboy's almost dead. He lost his legs, and you know, it's
exactly. Enqi, quick question.
So what I'm saying is this is like, you know, and that's what I'm up against. Like that keeps me up at night. That brings me to tears sometimes when these type of situations happen, because I'm like, yo, I could have saved this guy. This guy he wasn't out of the woods. Like when I meant to meet him, he was walking on two legs. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you let somebody come in between and poison your brain. And he did it for a few dollars. You know what I'm saying? Because he wanted to sell his herbs that he didn't even know nothing about. He wasn't a herbalist. He had a PhD, but he didn't have a PhD in herb. He didn't have a PhD in anatomy, physiology. He wasn't a naturopathic doctor, a medical doctor. He wasn't any type of healer at all. He had a random PhD in something else. And the people that go to academia are so, like, they're so attached to these paperworks that they think that the paperwork is the thing that enables them, as opposed to the actual wisdom that they're doing. Like, bruh, it's a zillion guys out here that do not have a plumbing thing and they're plumbers. It's a zillion electricians out here that don't have the electrician thing, so they usually got to work up under a master electrician. But they know what they're doing because they've been doing electric work maybe since they was 10 years old with their dad or something like that. Like, before there was certifications and degrees, there was experience, and you were you were worked up underneath somebody for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, and then you went out on your own. But you learned from, you know, training up under somebody that knew what they was doing. Now you have the majority of people are either not training because they just Googling up shit, or you have the people that are just strictly like theoretical book people that have no actual application. So most of these guys that call themselves healers, no, just real shit. None of these niggas, I'm gonna say none. Most of these niggas have never been into a actual hospital. like they've never been into the oncology ward to deal with their clients there. They've never been into the AIDS ward to deal with clients there. They've never been into the fucking into the veterans place where everybody's walking around missing limbs in this motherfucker because, you know, and we're thinking that they missing limbs because they got blown off in the war. No, most of these vets that's missing limbs got diabetes. You know what I'm saying? They missing limbs because of diabetes, not because they got like a purple heart or some shit. You know what I'm saying? That's not as high as diabetes. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, when you at that level where you in the hospital, that's when you have to know what you're talking about.
I seen that in the trailer. You were doing the rehab with the what is that? What is the instrument called? I remember you promoting it.
The PRX.
The PRX, yeah. So you were doing the PRX with the older gentleman, and he was doing the arm rehab.
The PRX is like amazing.
Yeah, just to see that, it was like, oh wow. So Dr. Enqi isn't just in the cutlet. He's everywhere.
Yeah. Well, that is a special instance with him because that's like my guy. You know what I'm saying? Because I told myself I was done with hospitals. Like, it takes a lot of energy out of you to do the hospital thing. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean by that?
Woo!
You already know.
First of all, to heal people, it takes a lot of energy out of you already. Like, because there's almost a transfer of some of the shit that's wrong with them onto you. So you gotta the first things first is, like, I tell folks all the time, you can't do this for money, and they don't get it. You know what I'm saying? They somehow in their mind, they think I'm still hustling them, like, no matter what, because I got gold teeth just flash and fucks up their mind. They think somehow I'm hustling. I'm like, no, you cannot do this for the money, bro. I promise you can't do this for the money. So they think that's just only a moral thing. No, the moral thing will become a physical thing. If you take on too many people, you're going to take on so much sick energy that you ain't even going to be able to deal with them people. Somebody going to have to deal with you because you're going to get sick. Right. So you can't even take on that many people like full on. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're just sending niggas herb packages or whatever, that's something different. But if you like going right there to their bedside, you know what I'm saying? Whether they at the crib, whether they in the hospice, or whether they in the hospital, you know what I'm saying? And in the hospital is worse because you surrounded by sickness and death. Then you got to operate at such a high level of efficiency because everybody's your enemy in the hospital. You are enemy of state in this.
That's all I was thinking is like, Enqi, like, how do you get through the double doors?
No, trust me, it's worse than you think. I promise, because you got to remember that, see, one of the things that happens is in these little circles of ours, we start to forget that we're less than 1% of a percent of a percent. So although we can all vibrate on the same shit, once we get out into the regular world, again, nobody knows Dr. Enqi and this,
Right.
you gotta hope that they know Sabi. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hope they know Sabi. Sabi's the most popular nigga. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be like, hey, you ever heard of Dr. Sabi? Like, oh yeah, I think the alkaline. There we go.
Alkaline.
You know what I'm saying? I'm something like that. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, if they say no, you're fucked. Because that means they don't know anything about what you're talking about, and everything you saying is a scam, right? So now, when you come to somebody's bedside, chances are, like for instance, say the person has cancer, they in the oncology ward, right? Maybe their nephew, their husband, their sister, their grandpa, one person out of that family has an alternative idea. So they contact you. But the rest of the family is not with the bullshit. So they coming in there and their mind is wired all the way back to like, so they bring in the people, KFC to eat in the hospital and shit. So, they bringing them Turk Subway sandwich. So you got to fight with the family. So the family don't like you. And when you show up, like soon as I show up, bags is ruffling and shit because now thick shit. Oh, no. We was following the program. Doc, we didn't, ain't no meat, no, no, that was my barbecue chicken right there. That was it. Yeah, that was, we didn't have, so you got beef with the family. Then the doctors, once they find out that you're an alternative healer in there, and basically that means that you're going to be eyeballing them and scrutinizing what they got going on. Mm-hmm. Every time you walk out the door, they're going to be rallying up the troops to get you out of there. Like, oh, where'd you find that guy? I mean, usually you don't want to have two different directions. So, if you guys want to go ahead and check out of the hospital and work with them, that's fine. But we prefer if you guys want to stick here and go through the chemo and all of the protocols that like are real science, then you should probably just go ahead and get rid of that person. So then, to make matters worse, the motherfucker that's sick is also against you too, because they didn't call your ass. You know what I'm saying? So you usually got one person in that room that's on your side. All the doctors against you, all the families against you, including the sick person is against you. So when you sit in, you got to be like 1,000% super efficient with your shit. And then you almost got to be able to speak multiple languages. You got to take the science and you have to be able to baby talk it to the sick person. Then from there, you have to be able to debate, argue with the family respectfully and get them all up to speed. Then when the doctor comes, now you have to be able to speak Doctorese. You got to be able to speak language. And that's where they're getting ready to slap you right up out of that room. Even if you talk to the family and you get everybody on the same page, when the doctor come in, he getting ready respectfully. He's getting ready to pull his Johnson out and have a pissing contest with you. And he's going to run all of the official terminology at you. So we're going to be like, well, we took the blood values and we see the count for this and this and that and the C-reactive protein and the whoop, 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 whoop. If you don't know what he's saying, if you can't snatch those papers out of his hand and go, wait a minute, hold on, yeah. Well, this is what we're going to do this. And basically what I usually do for this and this. Now, let me ask you a question, Doc. What do you think about this one? If you can't do that, if you can't snatch that goddamn report and flip that shit up inside down, backwards and forwards, the doctor gonna get you up out of there, because immediately you got to remember the patient and the family, they don't know none of that shit. They just looking to see now, like, oh shit, Clash of the Titans. You know what I'm saying? This is the box. You know what I'm saying? Let's see who knows they shit. Does the doctors know better, or does this nigga with the gold teeth? And technically, the gold teeth always puts me at a disadvantage. It's all just, you know, I'm always taking the.
No, it does not.
Hey, Doc, no. You gotta think about it, because the doctor already explained. Go in, OG.
Yeah, the people don't respect anything that looks like it's theirs. You know what I'm saying? Which is unfortunate, because we got the crab in the barrel shit like deep into our DNA. So what happens is, if you look like I look, immediately my mind goes, this nigga don't know more than me.
Mm-hmm. You can start competing. Yes.
Yeah, he don't. Oh, I got this. He don't. So
wait, but Dr. Enqi, go ahead. Sorry.
You getting ready to see what you getting ready to do, sisters. You getting ready to see women do this a lot. You trying to love everybody too much.
Don't do that.
Love it too much. You can't nurse.
No, Dr. Enqi, I'm getting a point.
We in a small group.
Mm-hmm.
People that talk like us and think like us, and we on this information shit every fucking day. And you know, like, this is oddly enough, like, this should be just what it means to be alive, but it's not. like people who are trying to get smarter every day are really in a little tiny weird group. Like, you're a geek, you're a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people are actually, their brain is regressing every day. And they're happy with that. Like, that's the normal status.
Okay,
like,
Dr. Enqi.
Yeah.
Can I get to my point?
But hold on, you got to understand that the doctor already explained that.
No. Let's just go ahead and get a point.
Go ahead. Let me see your angle.
What is the use of gold as far as amplification and so on and so forth? What would you say the use of gold is?
I mean,
like in technology,
like how important it is.
Externally, it's just adornment. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of your biology, it's like it's the most special element there is. You know what I'm saying? That's why.
So how can we even regard what they're saying? Like, I feel like with gold in your mouth.
That's why I'm trying to say, you're taking for granted that what you know is commonplace. See, you getting ready to go into a whole complex understanding of platinum group metals and how they bond with the body. John Q. Public don't know none of that shit there. They like, is that gold? That is poison. What are you doing with that poison on your body, boy? Now you got that in your mouth. You take that out your mouth, boy, and get that haircut.
Get that haircut.
Man, because you don't have my dreads too. You know what I'm saying? They come with
man.
You got the dreadlock. That dread can't be clean. You know, it's a dread. You know, you're trying to scare people with that gangster dread. Go. You know, you got to cut that down. I'm like,
all right, so conceptually, you're saying it's the same Yeshua story.
Hey,
you just won't accept.
Well, you know, that's a very, very tricky book. You know, like, because the book gets beat up a lot, right? But every day, something you dealing with is right in that damn book. It's like
right in there.
Guidelines.
Like, this is right.
And that's my question, Dr. Enqi. As far as, because once I started seeing the ancient chemist stuff when I was reading the article, I was like, this is Nikola Tesla territory. It's like how do you navigate like Babylon system with like the ancient chemist? Do you not even bother to mention it? Do you just kind of stick to their science and bring the ancient chemist into like your own personal writings and stuff, or do you kind of try to relay those messages as well?
Because what you're explaining is there's doctors out there like Dr. Robert Malone, probably shouldn't even say his name, that has patents that if you put them on your podcast or something like that, they may take your podcast down. And it's like, hold on, but he has patents, so like that's the same question you asking doctors.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, how do you navigate being so knowledgeable in the actual science of it, and then having to deal with people that's like just atheists, no light in the situation? Like, how do you?
That's what I said. You got to be able to speak multiple languages.
Okay. Okay, that's what he meant. I heard him say that.
a part of it is stuff that, you know, a part of it I could teach and some of it I can't teach because a lot of it is just me being a weird, you know, just being a unique nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like growing up in the Bronx, you know what I'm saying? I was just having a discussion. Like I'm actually putting them up on my Instagram, Melanin Wars. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was having the debate, you know, argument with a brother about what it means to be black and this, that, and the other. And he said, well, because I was asking him, I said, is Fat Joe a black man or is Fat Joe a white man? So,
I seen that.
So he wrestled with me for a whole 2 hours about this. So I'm putting them up on IG, you know what I'm saying? Probably try to get them up by tomorrow or whatever, all of them. It's probably gonna be like 10 parts to it. But the whole thing was one of the things he said, oh yeah, Fat Joe is clearly a black guy because he grew up in the Bronx. I was like, wait, what? What? What does that mean? What does that mean? I'm like, are you insane? Have you grew up in the Bronx? He's like, no, I never grew up in the Bronx, but I'm like, I grew up in the Bronx my whole life. You know what I'm saying? One of my best friends was blonde hair, blue-eyed white boy, taught me how to skateboard. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, nah, that's why hip hop was born in the Bronx, because the Bronx was like, New York is known as the melting pot, and the Bronx is the melting pot of the melting pot.
Right.
Everybody is in the Bronx, and everybody was on welfare. Everybody was waiting for free cheese. Everybody was on Social Security checks. Like, so that's what kind of made it unique, is that everybody was there and everybody was equally as broke. You know what I'm saying? So everybody was, you know, everybody had to fight. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was at free lunch, you know, in the summertime. You're not even thinking about free lunch in school. We was at free lunch in the summertime. You know, summer youth. People had to fight to get home with their summer youth checks because people would be waiting for you at the check cashing to grab that little 300 up out. Yeah, because it was a age limit to it. You know what I'm saying? I think once you get 17, you was disqualified. So all the 17, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, you know, they mad they can't get the check no more. So they waiting to beat you up and take yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just a melting pot of you know, where everybody could be like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, nah, man, you know, I don't know, it's just crazy. That's all that's what it comes. Okay. This is pure madness that we're dealing with.
So as far as identifying like what an actual black person is, and right here on the screen we have in your article where you list, I guess, the three categories.
And we're gonna post this article. Like I said,
the link in the description.
I have a Dr. Enqi playlist also. I'm gonna make it public probably after this situation. Now, matter of fact, hopefully I got a lot of those videos because I had some old videos. I had the ones where you. I'm talking about we talking about the perm.
We try to download the videos. I used to tell people that all the time, like, yo, y'all gotta download these videos because these going.
Dr. Enqi, the 11-hour one is just so long. I'm like, bro, I don't have no space on my man. I've been even when it went missing, I was like, no. I went and looked and found somebody has it. Somebody was.
Somebody
yes,
somebody was smart enough to
all 11 hours. I was so happy. I was like, yes, this person.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you gotta get them. And a lot of time we wasn't thinking it. Like I said, I'm glad that I took a lot of screenshots because I remember I already knew that I had to go to the hospital, so I knew I probably wouldn't have my computer going.
The most important thing is not the categories, it's the sentence before the categories. I said, first I want to define people in 3 categories so we have clarity for the article. You know what I'm saying? Because I realized that there is no consensus. Even if you look up the word race, there is no actual terminology that defines race. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes it so crazy. And then because American Black people don't have a history, really. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's some of us that go and reattach and find out, but it's not a, you know, we're thinking that crime is our culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the guns, the music about killing, you know, dropping out of school, all this goofball shit. And when you young, only thing you could see is people against you. You know what I'm saying? So I know because I used to be in that space. I used to be like, nah, these African niggas don't fuck with us. Fuck these African niggas. They left us over here anyway. They ain't come get us back, nigga. Everybody, when your country have prisoners of war somewhere, your country's supposed to come get you. You know what I'm saying? Like, never came and got us. So fuck them. You know what I'm saying?
They exiled them, right? But
even like I'm Haitian. You know, Haitians don't mess with American blacks. Jamaicans don't rock like this. There's no group of black people from abroad that identify with the American blacks, you know, in whole. And so, I mean, you always got the kids because they like the music or the clothes or whatever. But that, like, once they learn a little bit, they be like, oh, no, I'm not with them.
I can't do that.
I'm not with them. And
yeah, I used to always, my whole thing was to throw out that I was raised off a completely different diet. That's the irony of that. I would always be like, I was raised off.
I used to be offended with everybody. Like, what you mean? You're not black, nigga. You crazy, nigga. You with us, nigga. What? We all the same.
That's Professor Ras Natty.
Hey, doctor, I
had to learn because I had to realize that it's not a racist thing. See, we got this emotional trigger because we've been through something. So immediately, anything that reminds us of anything racist, we go. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that. Anybody could look at a person that's brown or black, you know what I'm saying, and go, oh, okay, I can see that we share a source or a beginning or a connection genetically somewhere because we got, you know, your hair look like my hair, my skin look like your skin. But the moment that you begin to say that, you know, McDonald's is a part of black culture.
No.
Then all of the black folks that are from everywhere else on earth, they're going to go, okay, well, you know what? Clearly, we must not be the same folks because McDonald's is not a part of my culture. So I guess you really are black folks because that's not Haitian. That's not Jamaican. That's not Dominican. That's not Dominican. That's not Ghanaian. That's not like, we don't know where you niggas got cheeseburgers from, but that is not a part of the program. You know?
Wait, so what about albino people? Because they have, I guess, the texture. They have
that's kind of like secondary. You know what I'm saying? Like an albino person is still, you know, whoever they are. You know what I'm saying? Like if you notice, if you look at an albino person, they don't have features that are outside of their nationality. They still have the same features. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's kind of a part of where I'm eventually trying to get people to take this to is that we got to understand there's a space where we have social, cultural, economic, and then convenient differences that we capitalize on. But there's coming a time very soon that we're going to have to adopt this earthling idea where we are all on this motherfucker together. And if we don't collectively just say, you know what, we are, like, for instance, white blood cells and melanated cells, completely fucking different. But guess what? They both belong to the body. And if they don't function correctly in harmony in the body, you're going to be dead.
Death. Yeah.
We're dealing with the same thing on our planet. You know what I'm saying? White, yellow, red, brown, black. Everybody got, you know, we're going to have to get to a space where we agree to disagree and work to, you know, get this thing together because our distractions and our small little, like the beefs that, because at this point, when you start to really understand some of the stuff that's underneath the surface, like I'll bring it back to melanin. Again, I'm asking white folks, I'm asking black folks. And I got my partner Carly. She's white, she's in Canada in a complete white space. I'm downtown Detroit, all niggas. You know what I'm saying? You know what melanin is? Hey, you ever heard of melanin? You ever heard of it? No, I don't know what melanin is. No, what's that? I'm like, wait, you don't know what melanin? And then I'm getting a few people, they're like, oh, you know, melanin is the pigment in your skin absorbs the light. I'm like, that's not it. That's kind of like
I see what you go. I see where you're going with now.
Like if I ask you what's a car and you're like it's a vehicle, I'm like, okay. All right,
It's an answer.
Yeah, that's loosely, but that's not
Correct.
not going to get it to the point where you understand how to integrate it into your life. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go in your kitchen and you're eating, are you eating for things like that work with that, or is that not a part of your spectrum? Because in school they teach that melanin is a waste product, and not only do they teach that melanin is a waste product, they don't teach you about globins at all. The only globin that you learn about is hemoglobin.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But you have myoglobin, you have cytoglobin, you have neuroglobin. Those are all different pigments that's in your body that you without them, you're not, then they don't teach you about opsins. You know what I'm saying? You got like 5, 6, 7, 8 different opsins. You know what I'm saying?
Iodopsin. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so you don't learn about these whole families of pigments, and then you got your external melanin, which is the only thing that we beefing about. You know what I'm saying? Oh, them folks white, them folks yellow, them folks brown. Okay, cool. But right up underneath that, we all have neuromelanin, or we wouldn't be functioning. So melanin is a universal concept because everybody has eyes, everybody has a brain, a spine, and a nervous system. All that's melanin, period.
Mm-hmm.
Neuromelanin, you know what I'm saying? So now they even, so you got eumelanin, pheomelanin, neuromelanin, and just now they discovered a fourth melanin in the brain. Like there's another type of melanin in the brain. They haven't really classified it yet, but they know it's different than eumelanin or pheomelanin, and it's different than, the neuromelanin that they've been studying all this long. So
are they saying it's present in both the dominant and recessive people, or
everybody?
Okay.
Yeah. And come to find out, in dark-skinned people, light-skinned people, we all have some degree of pheomelanin and, neuromelanin and eumelanin mixed in our brain.
Mm-hmm.
So we got like collages, you know what I'm saying? Pools, you know what I'm saying? So this is kind of where you see, in my mind now, this is where my opinion kicks in.
Okay.
That's factual. But here where my opinion kicks in is I think this is where people have varying degrees of talent for different things.
Mm.
Where you'll see that certain people is more inclined with this or inclined with that, or like you just be like, that's okay. What are we gonna say? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like now we have, like, and then these people that break the mold, you know what I'm saying? Where we typically might have associated something with all black talent.
Wait, who was that? We were watching bobsled. And we were laughing because they were the only black
that's what I'm saying. Now you got black folks.
Jamaica?
Look, you got black folks in cold sports. You got people like, then you look at somebody like Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys mixed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't get any more wicked on the piano than Alicia Keys right now.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so we gotta start really separating. Then I did an experiment, you know what I'm saying, with my roommate at the time in Philly, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Jason was a complete white guy. Like when you look at Jason, and this was the weird shit. You know what I'm saying? When you look at Jason, because his father was like a German, 100% German white guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Hail Hitler type. Like, you look at him, like he damn near just missing the uniform. Like you think his uniform might be in the closet.
Like,
but he's super cool though. He was super cool. But Jason's mother was darker than me. But none of that was reflected in Jason. You know what I'm saying? Jason just looked like his pops. You know what I'm saying? So that type of thing there started to really create a space, because I was raised like, all militant, like fuck the white, you know what I'm saying? So I had to go into my own maturity, learning how to judge people on their merit, their character, and all this kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? And living with Jason, I'm like, okay, this is wow, bro. I used to make, fuck with like, you sure you wasn't adopted, my nigga? Because like your mama is like, you know what I'm saying? And then his brothers, and sisters, they like somewhere between me and you, and then there's Jason. I'm like, bruh, this is crazy. but again, you never ever can question a baby from a woman because she carried the baby. The question is always with the dad. The mama carried, you know what I'm saying?
Daddy, maybe.
So I ran an experiment with Jason, and in 9 months, I had Jason, like he was getting to be like my complexion. You know what I'm saying? So I had, because I learned, that white folks and black folks, they all have roughly the same amount of melanocytes in the skin. The only two things that's really affecting pigment is active melanosomes and, how much sulfur you got floating around in your body. So if we start neutralizing that sulfur, and then, we get the melanosomes more active, you know what I'm saying? Voila.
Are you serious?
Voila.
Wait, so what were you guys doing? Were you putting him in the sun? Was he eating different? What was the...
Yeah, so we started right before the spring, and I put him on like a bunch of photosensitive types of herbs. Like I got, like it's in a formula now. It's called the Purple Phaze. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's a pro melanogenic compound, and it just stimulates your melanocytes. It stimulates the MSH and the MCH in the brain to get the body's pigment, ramped up. You know what I'm saying? So we started right at the top of, like, just before the top of the spring, like around February. You know what I'm saying? Before the spring broke, and just went on an all equator-based diet. Everything maximum sun food, and then I was hitting them with the herbs, and we was just like, yo, we're gonna do this shit. We're gonna see how far we could fucking take it. You know what I'm saying? And so once it started getting hot in Philly, we start going across the street, and our exercise, like for the experiment, would just be out there soaking the sun all day. So, Jason hoop, he hoop hard. You can't tell he white by how he play basketball. You know what I'm saying? So we'll just be on the black top all day. And we're just making our business to be out there with no shirts on and compare sunburn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's what I was wondering, because we were randomly riding down the road and I seen a white guy on a bike, and I'm trying to figure out, has he surpassed? So maybe that's the science. The melanocytes are increasing, or I guess they're receiving more, because he was starting to look a little bit more browner than red.
Let me tell you, they actually have done studies that show that, and this is kind of what I built on to try to feel. It's what made me curious. And, so me and Jason did the experiment, but there's actually was studies done that show in Europe that skin cancer, it doesn't really happen to like all white folks like we thought. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of white folks that have jobs like that, construction workers or roofers, and like their job, they're outside. They have to be outside all day to work. So those people don't experience the same rate of skin cancer as, people that have, other people that have the same exact complexion. So that started making me curious. I was like, okay, so clearly it's some other shit going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah.
So wait, can you explain the science one more time with the melanocytes and then the sulfur and what exactly is happening? Okay, so in your skin you have melanocytes. Those are the cells. Those are like your main pigment cells. They come from the same area in the fetus as your neurons. You know what I'm saying? So they just kind of, your neurons hold it down on the inside, melanocytes hold it down on the outside. They continuously talk to each other throughout your whole life. And if they stop talking, disease is coming. Now inside of melanocytes, you have melanosomes. Those are the enzymes that actually are released from the melanocyte that does the work of making the melanin. So that's where it gets different. So we all kind of have the same amount of melanocytes in the skin, but the melanosome activity and output is different, right? So you may have more
melanosomes and more active melanosomes than folks with different complexions. Now, in the actual fluids of the body, the fluid composition of your body is where you're going to have these sulfur-based alcohols at. So when the melanosomes is trying to do their thing in terms of producing melanin, if these sulfur alcohols mix into the matrix while they making it, while they make the melanin, while it's going through its process of basically
it's a burn.
Oxygen reactions with tyrosine, the sulfathiol will basically kind of derail the process, and you'll get pheomelanins, which still are able to absorb light and sound, just not as much as the eumelanin. So those two things is what's really contributing to people's complexion: melanosome activity and the body fluids. But here's the thing: melanocyte activity is controlled in the brain because you have two hormones that controls it: melanin stimulating hormone and melanin concentrating hormone. That's what controls your melanocyte. Then the sulfur, that's your biochemistry. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of get a predisposition from your parents, but you still have a lot of control, with what you eat to be able to kind of neutralize some of those.
So is the sulfur, like the high concentrates of sulfur, causing the sunburn within lighter skinned people or white people?
No. So what happens is as the sun is absorbed, you know what I'm saying? That has to be kind of like, it has to be absorbed by the pigment and then, kind of like remixed and re-radiated, as something else, you know what I'm saying? To make it simple, you know what I'm saying? So pheomelanin has a less of an absorption rate than eumelanin. So if you get some of the higher intensity light, it's going to cause, DNA damage. And that's where you get the problems from, and that kind of even made me curious. Like everything that goes on, the way my mind works, like I just have to totally understand it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas most people would just take that like, oh, okay, yeah, so melanin protects the skin. I'm like,
yeah, this is me. Right.
I mean, how is it doing that? Like, what do you mean?
So so as far as the sulfur, you're saying
here's the answer.
All right. Go ahead.
Right up above your nucleus, in every cell, you have what's called a melanin cap. It's like a little afro of melanin that sits right above the nucleus to take care of the nucleus. You know what I'm saying? So I realized that your nuclear DNA can't function without melanin. Outside of all of the mitochondria, there's melanin deposits. So I realized mitochondria can't function without melanin. Everywhere in your body where you have satellite cells or stem cells, you have packs of melanin. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't absorb. Like none of these other cells in your body can absorb light. So because we always in light, your body has to have melanin everywhere to absorb that light and then turn that into something else that group of cells can use. So,
okay, I have two questions. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead, because we only got like 13 minutes left. Oh,
okay.
It's after midnight. So yeah,
all right.
Just the last two questions. I'll come back next week or whatever. I'll come back.
Yes, let's do it. Okay, so SPF, does that mess it up?
Nope, stop it.
No, I'm asking
lotion none of the time.
See, hey, look. Let's
as
not,
far as the better.
Look. All suntan lotion is no good.
I don't even want to go there because I want
it's sunblock, right?
I want to ask a super interesting question.
All them lotions is no good.
There was a white guy. He was he said that he was never able to tan. What he does, doctor, because I know you have a little pushback against the mushroom, whatever the situation is. So I kind of wanted to ask you this question. But what he does is, and the last question is, I want to do the monkey pox just randomly because I want to figure out what the doctor thinks about this situation. But the white guy was explaining that on the mushroom he was able to tan. Like he explained that on the mushroom he was able to stop stuttering, and I heard you say something about the brain and that chemistry. So I'm just trying to figure out, did that have any effect on his ability to tan? Is that just something that he things that he was able to do, but he said like his whole life he will try to tan and he'll burn immediately. And this one day he was on a mushroom and he was able to basically coach himself through the tanning process. I'm not sure how he explained it again, but is there a concept behind that?
There's some mushrooms that are photosensitive.
Oh, okay.
And that's outside of the mushroom pigment. Right? Like, oh, well, you know, you got black mushrooms and the black mushrooms got the melanin. I'm like, that's not exactly the same.
Okay.
Like plant melanin, you know, is a totally different category of melanin, and the composition is different than human melanin. Even though it may look the same from the outside, it's not the same chemical structure. That being said, you know what I'm saying? If he's missing something, it might be it might just be the mushroom photosensitizing his body. Like I said, I use photosensitive herbs to, you know, help with a lot of different things that I do. So there are mushrooms that are photosensitive. Like mushrooms have been around a long time. Yeah, and then outside of that, mushrooms, there's some mushrooms that are very rich in phosphorus compounds. And phosphorus is like on the mineral side, like one of the main key minerals that you need in high levels in the brain for you to have brain function. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay,
you know, Dr. Sebi, you know what I'm saying? Like I had somebody, Dr. Sebi never mentioned phosphorus. I was like, you a dumb nigga. That's why Dr. Sebi never mentioned phosphorus to you. But Dr. Sebi damn near said phosphorus every sentence when he said anything, because he would say iron phosphate.
Yeah.
The such and such phosphate. He will always say phosphate. I'm like, bro, that's what phosphate is. Phosphate is phosphorus surrounded by oxygen. That's what phosphate is. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of phosphorus compounds in the mushroom kingdom. Even the mushrooms that get people high that they like to take. It's the phosphorus compounds in there that makes people, you know.
Sulfate.
Yeah. So it's the phosphorus that's doing a lot of the brain magic. So, you know, it could be quite a few different things. If he's not able to suntan, you know, that's not like a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times people will come to me for a consultation and they think they know what they're saying. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm gonna need you to go to the hospital real quick one time. And come back to me with some paperwork, and then I could look at the paperwork and find the actual problem, and then we could put a plan together to attack this. But just by telling me, okay, you don't suntan, bro, that could be a skin issue, that could be a microbiome issue, that could be a neurochemistry issue, that could be like that's a variety of, you know, it's such a wide possibility. I don't like to just start giving people products. You know, like most people, again, they doing this to make money. You know what I'm saying? So in that space, they don't really ask much questions because their end game is selling products. So they would just prefer to sell you every single product they got than try to figure out what you actually need, because it might only be a few things. Then they messing up their money. And some of them like to scare you and tell you need 15 things when they know you only really need like 3 or 4. But if they told you that you needed 15 and you only bought 3, if you don't get better, they get to blame you later on and say, well, you know, I did say that you needed all them other, you know, you didn't get everything. So, it's
tricky game. Okay, so mushrooms, a fungus, and an algae. What is that exactly? What's an example of an algae?
Algae is almost kind of like water fungus. Maybe you could kind of understand it that way.
Okay, but it's not kombucha.
Algae is like the first life on the planet.
Okay. So,
phytoplanktons are all considered algae. And then there's a thin line, I guess, where algae, you know, kind of branches off, and then you got the land stuff, and then you get fungus, and then you got stuff like lichen. I make gel out of lichen, and so that's like a part of my gel mix. Lichen is weird. It's like lichen is half fungus, half algae. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. But lichen has D3 in it. You know what I'm saying? So
Good supplement.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that became a critical thing during the pandemic. But yeah, so it's just more like, the fungus is kind of like the oldest organisms on the planet, like dirt and soil wise. And then the algae is like the oldest in the water. And then of the two,
So wait, like I seen you eating some
older.
I seen you eating some straight out of the water. Like, is that do you recommend everybody do that?
Absolutely not.
No, that's the first thing I was about to say.
Because I was like, Enqi didn't even wash that off. Like,
that could be super dangerous. You got to know exactly where you at, and you got to know what kind of algae that is. You know what I'm saying? So that if it's supposed to grow there, you know what I'm saying? Then how it's supposed to grow. You know what I'm saying? So normally if you have algae and it's attached, like to its natural space, they have mechanisms in place to filter any toxins or anything crazy out. You know what I'm saying? So that what I was eating in the video was like I think that was sea lettuce or sweet lettuce. Yeah.
Okay.
That was sea lettuce.
There's
a lot of different algae, you know what I'm saying? But that's not like a commercial one that people sell a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's something that more like people more so use that in like foods and culinary, chefs will use that or whatever. But yeah, there's some places where you could grab them joints right out the water and eat them. I mean, when you buy it on Amazon, you know what I'm saying? Where that stuff came from. A lot of times, them sea moss, by the time they get to your house, it been pissed on, shitted on. Because I seen it and it messed me up because in my mind, like people don't really like the reason why I can explain stuff so easy is because like I'm you. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up in this. So there was a point where, like I'm just getting any sea moss, every sea moss, you know what I'm saying? The least expensive one that works with my budget is usually the best one. I'm like, okay. I come to find, I'm finding out like, hold on, man, what the fuck's going on with the sea moss? I'm like, oh shit, niggas picking shit up off the side of the road. Then I'm watching like, because people that don't really respect it, they don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So, they just walking their dog and shit. Their dog is like pissing right on it.
Flavored sea moss, and the Gatorade.
World shit on it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just right there. It's part of the, it's part of the coastline or whatever. And people just come by with garbage bags and kind of harvest it and dry it off and send it to your crib.
Okay, really quick. As far as the sun conversation, I remember you mentioning that women should stay in the sun a little bit longer because they usually have more fat on their bodies.
Yep.
What is that about? Is it more of the fact that they have more receptors that need to be recharged or
just on average? You know what I'm saying? Like if you take a man and a woman of the exact same kind of build, women naturally have 20% more fat on their body for reproduction. Remember, your nervous system and your brain is all fat. So women have to have a little bit more fat because they got to be prepared to create a whole nother human. You know what I'm saying? And so your brain is like 60-80% fat.
Okay.
Man, we definitely pregnant moms, like one of the main things they got to put on the pregnant mom. And if the baby's doing formulas or whatever, like the main ingredient is DHA, EPA, like they got to put them omegas in there because otherwise there's no brain development.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
So omegas and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Final question, Dr. Enqi. Again, we side B, C through Z. We gonna keep going.
We definitely appreciate this.
I'm with it.
The monkey pox. Like, what's your opinion?
A lot of people is going crazy. Like, what's your thoughts? Is there anything special we need to do going forward?
Patreon.com/Dr. Enqi. That's it. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
we got all the information for sure.
Because the whole idea is all these things, the number one thing that it's never gonna change. No matter what the virus is, what the bacteria is, it's gonna come down to compromised immune system has a high risk factor, compromised metabolic system. So only thing you can really do is just keep your shit running as high as possible. And then, that's it. You know what I'm saying? You'll run into something, you'll get sick, and then you'll get better. Like, that's kind of how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't avoid stuff. Like, I didn't avoid, like me and my family, we didn't avoid nothing. Like, we was taking planes, buses, trains, the whole program. We was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We was in the subway in New York, plane here, there. Like, it wasn't. My thing was, you have to come in contact with a virus to build up immunity to it. You can't hide from it. You know what I'm saying? So what was weird to me was when they were saying, we want you to take the vaccine, but we also want you to stay in the house. I'm like, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So you want me to come in contact with it because you want to shoot it in me, but you want me to stay at the house. Like, that don't know. I'm just gonna go catch it right outside. Where that shit at? Let me go. Come on, get dressed, goddammit. Let's go down where.
American walking around like a diplomat.
Anywhere, virus is at Walmart, goddammit. If it's anywhere, it's at Walmart. We're going to Walmart, damn it. We're going to shop around in Walmart. We'll get sick in there. We'll get infected.
Hey, Walmart will make you a diplomatic person, diplomatic community after that.
Man, they said you got Walmart be having like 10,000 people a day in there.
Man, big pool of DNA to go through.
I think that the monkey pox is just something that's really, really ugly. Like, let's just keep it all the way above. More
so than like
really ugly. And now that they done put it on you with the monkey, we back to that again. Like, people have to have long memories. This is not our first rodeo with this monkey program. Like, don't forget that they said that the AIDS was the monkey virus. The AIDS was the monkey virus, and black folks in Africa. You got to come on. We already had this rodeo, family. We didn't already, you know what I'm saying? So, monkey pox is like a family member to smallpox. And Native Americans done kicked smallpox ass a long time ago with herbs right from natural North America. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, if anything, start looking around your front yard and your backyard. The shit you spraying pesticide on, you might want to start grabbing some of that. That dandelion, that Queen Anne's lace, that burdock root, all that shit that's growing around the crib that you trying to, you might want to just put some of that in the shed or something. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, you got to just do the right stuff. You got to figure out how your body runs best, and you got to do those things. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to exercise. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us on the vegan herbal side, like, I don't know, it's like we allergic to exercise. I'd be like, nigga, if you don't do a motherfucking push-up, like, what is happening right now? Like, we
talk about it.
Yeah, we got to build muscle, you know what I'm saying? Because muscle protects you. Muscle destroys fat. Muscle destroys tumors. Muscle destroys cancer cells. Muscle destroys sugars. Like, we need muscles, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why you have a lot of athletes, they don't get sick until they retire. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole time their body was highly functioning. You know what I'm saying? And in the space of being an athlete, their organs grow bigger. So, most athletes have a larger heart, you know what I'm saying? Larger brain than regular folks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, so gotta take care of ourselves. Yeah. Oh, but we didn't even show the trailer the whole time.
Oh, gosh.
No, we didn't, man.
Hold on. Show the trailer and then we out on the trailer.
No, I got you. I got it.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. You got it queued up already.
Wait, is this 7 minutes and 33 seconds?
Yep. I mean, listen, when I did it, I hit up my partner. I was like, bro, I can't get this shit down to 2 minutes. Like, real trailer. He said, listen, you do 11-hour videos. 7 minutes is 2 minutes in your I can fuck with that. I can fuck with that right there.
That makes sense.
I'm like, somehow that worked for me. Like, that
story of how a young black boy abandoned.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We rocking.
This is
Full
a
screen it,
story
yeah.
of how a young black boy abandoned in the most dangerous neighborhood in America, with no formal education, would do what no doctors, no scientists in the world could do, not even with billions of dollars in budgets, the most cutting edge technology to go with it. I mean, David and Goliath proportions, all while being a single father, battling a deadbeat baby mother, a broken system in a sick community that lost its identity centuries before he was even a twinkle in his mother's eye.
What is melanin? Melanin?
Heard of melanin?
Have you ever heard of melanin before? You ever heard of melanin before?
So melanin? No, never heard of it.
Have you ever heard of melanin before?
No.
I guess this is where it starts with the nurse and doctor shortage in America. See, a nurse had done a triple shift at work, and while driving home like any other day, this day on Webster Avenue in the Bronx, on this day, she fell asleep at the wheel and ran over three, not one, three of my daughters. Two of my daughters had minor damage. However, the youngest, Amber, had a broken neck, a broken spine in 3 places, a completely crushed pelvis. Her left leg was crushed. Her left foot was crushed. They said she would be lucky if she made it out of ICU, but they didn't think she would make it. And if she did, she would never walk again. I had survived crack houses, dope dens, knife fights, shootouts, but nothing prepared me for that day. I remember right after 9/11 having a seizure and my heart stopped. I flatlined on that table for almost a minute, got up, healed myself, but still, nothing prepared me for that day. Or at least so I thought. But over the next few months, what God and I had accomplished with Amber, it was just the beginning. This is where it all started. Right here, 158th Street in the Bronx. My father was selling heroin. My mother was smoking crack. No one could imagine I would grow to become the world's leading naturopathic doctor on type 2 diabetes. Truth is, neither could I. My father and his friends made millions of dollars in Harlem selling heroin, selling plants. I too was destined to make millions from plants. The only difference is that while they would become known as American gangster, I would become known as the American healer.
Do your thing.
Alrighty, guys, and that is the conclusion of this episode with our honorable guest, Dr. Enqi. We will be back on Friday with our Freestyle Friday segment. Until then,
hey, we supposed to and I don't want to mess up the cast because man, that was amazing. Thank you for tuning in, bro. That shit was much appreciated and shit. We supposed to have the brother Nato in the studio soon. Supposed to have the brother Nato in the studio soon. Maybe we might have the brother Nato in the studio Friday live. Thursday, we're supposed to have SEMG in the studio.
Facts. SEMG pull up on Thursday, and then Freestyle Friday with a potential special appearance by Nato.
And I'm thinking about the brother. I see the brother in here right now, bro. What you supposed to be in the building Friday when your music and stuff dropping, J. I'm not sure if you're still in the building. You could chime in on any of your situation, bro. I just want to get a little full wrap up because we might even just cut this as a promo for the next one. But I definitely get a full wrap up with you, bro. If you could chime in really fast, Ja. Boy, the brother Josh Rich. I know he got some music coming. So I'm wondering, is he gonna possibly be in the studio Friday? I know he got some little stuff that he had already worked on. But definitely, bro, thank everybody for coming through. We about to get up out of here, and thank the doctor for coming through and dropping all that wisdom on us, man. That shit was well needed. Like I said, a lot of people is in fear right now, right? Fear of being hate crimed, fear of being monkeypoxed. So yeah, all right. The brother just confirmed right here. He said most definitely. So we're supposed to probably see the brother in the studio Friday. So we're gonna have this brother in the studio and possibly Nato. I'm gonna see what Nato's timeline is, but I want to get Nato in the studio Friday for Freestyle Friday. I down there want to get a freestyle from the two brothers. You feel me, Jay? I'm throwing you out there. I'm throwing you under the proverbial bus right now, bro. I'm gonna need a freestyle from you Friday. We're gonna run a beat, nigga.
Let's go.
Yeah, you feel me? We're gonna need you and Nato in the building, bro. But what we're gonna do with the Dr. Enqi is, like I said, I'm gonna make a playlist, bro. I'm gonna find a way to put the article in there. Everything, right? Because I want y'all to read that article too. The article is fucking dope.
Fire.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put the article somewhere. Check the article out. I also have a Dr. Enqi playlist, like I said, where you'll be able to see like some of the videos that he may or may not still have up, right? But the main thing about that playlist is a lot of the key words.
Is that gonna be in Black Wall Street or Ras Absolute?
That's weird. We're gonna figure that out. We're probably gonna put it on Black Wall Streets just to get a unison type of situation. But the brother said, let me but you can go to the brother comments. The brother said he's locked in. So yeah, we dumbing out, bro. We this week we going crazy, bro. We trying to get some more people in here. Like I said, we got stuff coming. We got brother JY and Jay-Z coming in. This shit gonna be crazy. I don't know what y'all expect, bro. Just stay tuned. Stay tuned. Definitely, bro. Like I said, I can't thank the brother, Dr. Enqi enough. Really and truly can't. Everything that, like, bro, I don't think y'all understand. And it's just like, right, it's like when we go back and we watch the Genius documentary, and you remember at times how people was looking at Ye, like when he went in the studio and he was asking for shit, and people were like, man, what the fuck you talking about? Get the fuck out my face. And these songs that he was playing was like legendary songs later on in life. All Falls Down. What the fuck? You know, like, nigga, that was our shit, nigga. That was our shit. And he was playing it to some folks, and some folks was like, man, get out my face, bro. You tripping. You make beats, dude. You make beats, bro. What are you talking about? You got those goals in your mouth. So that's where the brother was coming from, where they see you and they put you in a box. They say, bro, you make beats, though. You can't rap. It's like, what? I make beats because I rap. The only reason why I'm good at making beats is because I rap so good. That's the only reason why I'm good at making beats. If I was sorry as hell at rapping, I probably wouldn't be good at making beats because I probably buy 1 or 2 beats. I give up.
Going through that same, no, because he tried to do that same.
Pierre stay trying to rap, and he may be good as fuck at rapping, right? He may be one of those times.
You ain't getting the door. You ain't getting the door with that.
And I'm not even peeping him because every time I hear him randomly, he be on tomfoolery, I think. I don't know. Maybe he slid some shit one day. Man, let's get out of here and not mess up the brother Enqi cast. But I wanted it to be 12:30. Man, you really gotta honor the brother, bro. The brother gave us 2 hours of his time, bro. You gotta really, really, really. I'm telling you, people don't look at things in hindsight. Like the brother Dr. Enqi explained in this article, where a genius is someone that recognizes patterns, right? Patterns become like an algorithm, right? Where you start saying, okay, this is going to happen 2 times and then we're going to get 3 of these.
Yeah, you stop saying it's cyclical and you just start being like, oh shit, that shit coming.
Right? You start recognizing to a different point. Like even tomorrow, I got you here. So I want to get 1 day. 1 day with you here, just like, because the youths be killing me. They be killing me, bro. It be plays open all the time. And I want to make a play and get $1 billion. If I get $1 billion, first thing first, I'm going buying a pound from the brother Dr. Enqi. Dr. Enqi sell pounds, bro. Man, bro, pull Dr. Enqi website up, bro, before we get about it. That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. We can't, like, I don't want people to, like, bro, you see this patreon.com shit, make sure y'all join that, bro. Make sure y'all join that, bro. Maybe like you could even just do $1 a month, $12 a fucking year, bro. That ain't even fair, but hey, it is. What you got is what you got, bro. Maybe you may be trading and you saying, yo, I could only do $1 a year, but when I really get that bag,
$1 a year.
$1 a year, you can do $1 a year.
You're doing a penny, less than a penny a day.
What? More than a penny a day, nigga, to get to $1 a year?
It's 100 pennies to make $1.
Babe,
the year is 365.
$1 a year.
That's not even
I said more than
a day.
Babe, what?
Let's get off of here.
Babe, are you serious?
All right, run the shop.
You trying to tell me,
I think I'm getting hungry.
No, bro. Like, no. I'm 100% serious with you, bro. I need you on the cast dropping bars, bro. Look, go $3. I'm telling you, bro. We gotta support the brother because, like, y'all may be sleeping. Like, niggas might be sleeping. Yeah, y'all don't even get it. Like, look, when we did a lyric video for Cambada, bro, I think niggas be sleeping. Niggas look at shit as like nothing. It's like, that's nothing.
Yeah,
same thing that happened with
a whole starter pack.
No, fuck that. Same thing that happened with Kanye, bro. Same thing that happened with me. I remember when I was a young basketball player, nobody took me serious. One brother took a chance on me, and I busted everybody's ass. One brother took a chance on me. I was skinny. I'm just telling you, bro. Life is odd, bro. One person to take a chance on you, bro, and it'll make your life.
Where are we going to?
What do you mean? What product we going to? Just go to all products. You want a product right now? All right, boom. Go to the melanin disease. That's the main product we need to talk about right now. The melanin disease kit is right here.
This one?
Is the first one. The melanin disease kit.
Oh, okay.
The first one. The first one. Right? It's the first one. This is a kit that was created from the article that we're telling you all about. Right? This kit came by the way of the article that we're telling you about because the brother explained that the number one cause of death, if you think about it in the whole, the full spectrum of the situation, is diabetes. The brother that we spoke to tonight is the leading expert on diabetes. I'm telling y'all, you motherfuckers just sat back and just didn't understand what they heard. Right? And you know, it's fair enough, but like I always explain, this is why the brother stuck out to me, because the way he was able to bring you in, he brought you in through the religion pathway. He brought you in, and like I wanted to rib him one time, right, with the vortexes, because he said that the vortices, and I was like, oh snap, bro, you can't say vortex, bro, around these fucking chakra niggas. A chakra nigga hear vortex, bro, he immediately thinking like a portal opening the fuck up on them, right? So I want to throw a lot of that shit out there, bro, because I don't think people really understood who they was in front of tonight.
We definitely gotta do. I don't even want to put B because that puts it all the way to Z. We gotta do these often.
Nah, but you gotta think about that. Like I said, everybody that comes on the cast, that's the type of relationship we try to build with them. We don't bring people on the cast that it's like, you remember how we watched that docu with Kanye, whatever the situation was? That brother was a comedian. He had his own shit going on. He recognized something in his brother. He said, man, I want to follow this brother around. I want to see what he becomes. Like, I want to document him becoming something. Right? That's always been our vision, right? Where I explained to you, it's like a saloon. Where it's like, oh, he one of the top shooters out here. Yeah, he came through the saloon. Right? Everybody has to come through the saloon. Oh, yeah, he does that. Yeah, he just come to the saloon. Yeah, he used to be right in the back. Look at it. Right? Because that's what it's supposed to be about. So, yeah, everybody that come on the cast got up to a part Z. Right? Everybody. I'm always letting them know, yo, we need you back on the cast, because I always want to get reoccurring situation. I want to say, yo, where was you at 2 months ago? Damn. Okay. Where you was at a year ago? Oh, fuck. Right. I want to get everybody date catalog, but this is the package that that everybody should check out. We're gonna show you the Patreon. Well, like I said, we're gonna put a lot of this stuff in the description because I really want y'all to really check out this situation as far as the article for sure. Right. The article it's lengthy, but if you understand what's going on right now, you understand actually what we're going through, you kind of change. You feel me? Because like the brother always explained, if you understand the worth, you'll really pay what it was worth. Empress, I need you to end my cast.
Alrighty, guys, that is the conclusion of this episode. We will be back mañana with the SCMG pull-up, and then on Friday with the Freestyle Friday and our special guest. Until then, continue to check out our clips and remain black, balanced, logical, and knowing.